with everyone I talk to, consultants, agencies, attorneys. Suddenly, not only are there not as many placements, but there's not as many families adopting as there was even 2 years ago. Your dream is to become a mom. My dream is to help you get there. I'm Rebecca Gruenspan, a single mom through domestic adoption and an adoption consultant for over a decade. I'll be your guide, along with other adoption professionals and members of the adoption constellation, walking you step by step down this beautiful and complex path of adopting your baby. When I was going through the adoption process, I had no idea what I was doing, what I needed to know, or more importantly, who to trust. Well, after helping hundreds and hundreds of families grow through the beauty and complexity of adoption, I've learned more than a thing or two, and let me tell you, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. This isn't just another podcast sharing adoption stories, but it's for you if you're genuinely committed to diving in with an open heart, eager to learn everything there is to know about adopting a baby so that you can show up for yourself and your child in the best way possible. This podcast is for you if you're ready to put your newfound knowledge into action. Adoption isn't for the weak of heart, and it certainly isn't done when your baby gets placed in your arms. If that's what you think, I'm afraid you're living in la la land. My promise to you is to keep it real if you promise to keep digging. We'll acknowledge the hard, and we'll also celebrate the joy that is adoption. You ready? Let's do this. Good morning, good morning. Another rendition of this week on the Adoption Roadmap with moi, Rebecca Gruenspan. A couple things happened in the last week. I had a single mom who was matched with an expectant mom for about 8 months, unbeknownst to her, which turned out to be a scam, and nobody would have seen this coming. She worked with an attorney who she worked with for 2 previous placements. They got proof of pregnancy. What would make you think that she wasn't going to do it again? And I'm sharing this because you just never know. Because somebody has placed before is usually one of those things that we say, that's a pretty good sign that it's going to happen again. Not always. Not always. And we've been seeing this trend of fall throughs happening a lot with single women, more than most. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Just when you think you kind of know some trends and know things to look for, you don't always. That happened. We also had a match. We also have a couple expectant moms who are really struggling with choosing the right family. And in fact, one of the things that happened this week is that we had about, this has been going on since March, the end of March. Usually an expectant mom chooses pretty quickly once she's given families, like one will stand out or maybe 2 or 3, and then she'll keep narrowing it down. And it'll usually happen within a couple days, a week max. But one woman has really been struggling with a lot of anxiety, and I think it's stemming from making the right choice and also not letting down other people, which is definitely a thing that expectant moms struggle with. It's not just an easy choice, and it has nothing to do with you personally. It's what she is drawn to and what, somebody asked me, well, what are birth moms looking for? What can we do to make this, go quicker, to get picked quicker? And beyond what we do anyways, which is recommending you to sign up with multiple agencies at once, it's really about being yourself and representing your best self and your most authentic, true self because an expectant mom is going to be drawn to you, that one expectant mom. And that's the one you're waiting for. But anyways, so this young woman in her 20s, she's struggling a lot to choose a family. And she had narrowed it down to 3. So I had let the other families know it wasn't them, which we usually do. We want to get back to families as soon as possible because they are also sitting in agony of, didn't I? Is this the one? Is this not the one? How connected should I feel to this? And turns out that the one she narrowed it down to now isn't the one, and she went back to a family that she originally thought wasn't the one. I don't know what's going, she's just really, really struggling, but nothing is for sure, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We've also had moms who choose to parent and then 2 weeks later tell the agency, no, I'm ready to sign. I really do want a place. So while mostly a decision is a decision, not always. Not always. So we had our Q1 meeting today, and if you have any questions, please let me know. This week's mug is Life is Good. So hold on, I got to take my turmeric, cinnamon, MCT oil, really coconut oil, coffee, toffee, no butter this time. We had our Q1 meeting. I don't mean this to be all gloom and doom. And I will always keep it real. I will always tell the truth because you guys deserve to know the truth and nothing but the truth. Before we go on, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go away. We still have so much to talk about. The Adoption Roadmap podcast is sponsored by the Adoption Roadmap Academy, the only online program of its kind for hopeful adoptive parents like you who want step-by-step guidance, preparing for your home study, creating a compelling adoption profile book, choosing the right agencies, and more so that you can bring your baby home sooner. As an adoption consultant and adoptive mom who's been where you are, I'm going to guide you step by step through everything you need to know about the domestic infant adoption journey from home study to finalization. And the great part is you get to do it at your own pace with a supportive community behind you. The Adoption Roadmap Academy is a step-by-step guide to domestic infant adoption for hopeful individuals and families who are sick and tired of waiting forever. It's the first and only self-paced adoption consultant-led program that shows you exactly how to navigate the domestic adoption process from home study to finalization. With our proven 4-step adoption roadmap model, you're going to be able to save time you can't make up, hours and weeks and even months of tedious legwork and research are done for you. You're going to be able to go at your own pace. No matter what else is going on in life, nobody's going to be breathing down your throat. You are going to be able to gain and keep momentum because everything is going to be spoon-fed for you in exactly the way you need. You are going to possibly even save money by knowing how to vet situations and working with the right agencies. It could save you a lot of heartache. You are going to be able to access this course anytime, anywhere, and get expert guidance and support, not only by me, but also by an amazing community who know exactly what you are walking through. Here's what you can expect inside. You'll be getting streaming videos, worksheets, bonus resources, an adoption profile creation, agency contacts, live streams to connect with other people, and unending education, all using our 4-step proprietary adoption roadmap model. Plus, you'll be receiving a bonus mindset step that I highly recommend for everyone. So if you're interested in starting your adoption journey and ready to fast forward and simplify your domestic adoption process, please email the word academy to support@rgadoptionconsulting.com today, and we'll get you started. I will always tell the truth. Numbers are still down, and not just with us, with everyone I talk to, consultants, agencies, attorneys. Suddenly, not only are there not as many placements, but there's not as many families adopting as there was even 2 years ago. Is this a new forever trend? Who the fuck knows? Who knows? I mean, selfishly business-wise, I hope not. And adoptions being down is a good thing. If we look at, that as a whole, like, why are adoptions down? Are more moms parenting? If so, that's probably a good thing. I hope that's a good thing. Not always, but I hope so. We had, in our first quarter, 19 placements. Last year, Q1, we had 21 placements. Last year, Q1 was the biggest quarter of our year, and then it started really going down. All in all, we had an amazing number of placements. Our second highest in history last year. So that was amazing, but the number of families coming on went way down. 19 placements. That's awesome. And that's more than most agencies for sure. Let's see, what else could I tell you? Oh, another interesting fact was we look at who are the top 3 agencies with the most placements of our families and who are the top 3 agencies with the most fall throughs from our families. And they're the same agencies. The agencies that are doing the most placements with us are also having the most fall throughs with us. And one of the things that we often notice, and this is a sucky trend, but it's true, is sometimes you need to get through that first fall through to have a quicker placement. Because a lot of these agencies, once you have a fall through, you are like at the top of the list for a baby born situation or something like that. And they all get them. When it's their choice, they are going to give those situations to somebody in their family, on their list who has had a previous fall through. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Like literally the same number of placements with an agency, the same number of fall throughs with an agency, the same agency. Interesting fact. And those tended to be the agencies with the most amount of with large amounts of placements. So we work with all size agencies and attorneys. Let's see here. Definitely not as many families calling or deciding to work with us or anybody really. I don't believe it's just us. I think it's an industry thing because, like I said before, I talk to a lot of agencies, other consultants, everybody's seeing the same thing. So if you're hearing something different, I would ask more questions. Okay, so last year we had 5 same-sex male couples, so 5 gay couples and 16 heterosexual couples take placements. This year we had 5 same-sex couples, male couples, gay couples, 3 single women, and 12 male-female couples take placement. So last year we didn't have any single women Q1. We always do well with gay couples. No lesbian couples either year Q1. Interesting. The other interesting thing was, because we look at where all of our families are taking placement, what agencies, and there's one that's usually at the top, and then the other are all spread out. So our families are placing with a lot of different agencies across the country, and we never know where it's going to be, which is why this whole idea of a multi-agency approach is so important because you never know where it's going to come from. A lot of this is luck, right? Being at the right place at the right time. And then if you are having an amazing profile that's authentically showing you. Another interesting fact, there always seems to be more boys than girls being born. And last year, Q1, 13 boys, 8 girls. This year, Q1, 12 boys, 7 girls. So pretty significant. More boys than girls. So if you're hoping just for a girl, you might be waiting for a long time. Okay, baby race. Baby race, Q1 2024. I don't need to talk about Q1 last year. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but Q1 2024, 36% Caucasian mix, white, black, white, Hispanic, white, whatever. 21% white, 21% black, 11% Hispanic, and 11% black Hispanic. I knew this was going to catch up to us, and it finally has. This quarter, the people who took placement, and you know what? Maybe this is a really great thing because there were a lot of people who over the last year when things were really quiet, we had no single moms taking placement, are finally starting to, and they're the people who have been waiting for a long time. So about half adopted in under a year and half adopted 12 or more months. Q1. I have a feeling that'll go down too. Fall throughs are going up across the country too, I am hearing. We have about 27%. The industry average, yeah, it's skewing up. It's somewhere between 25 and 28%. We've always been right at industry average. There's been about 8 of our families had a fall through with financial loss. And we are not seeing any trend with how long, like if you're going to experience a fall through, how long was your match? And most of them happened with a less than 1 month match. Like they match with an expectant mom who's due in less than a month, and then it falls through. That is something we never used to see. And we always said the shorter, the better. And we still feel that way emotionally. And most of the time, financially, you stand to lose more if it's a longer match. Not always, but most of the fall throughs happen with moms less than a month. Are you going to stop matching less than a month? No. And we still had some at 4 to 5 months and 5 to 6 months. Amount spent. Okay, I wanted to talk about this too, because what I'm hearing from other places is that their average adoption cost of adoption is like $70,000 or more. And I have seen situations of $70,000 to $80,000. It's mind-blowing. We're talking Q1 2024. We had 6 of the adoptions were between 50 and 55,000. 2 that were 56 to 60, 4 that were 61 to 70. So 6, 55 and less, 50 to 55, above 55, 6, 41 to 49, 1, 30 to 42, and then 4 of them we don't have reports on. So we still see, we still work with agencies that are all over the board with costs and finances and all of that, but definitely the costs are trending up. And we're just starting to also look at what level of openness our families have with their with their birth moms. We had, and this is just Q1, and they're new, right? So things change, but right now, 6 are fully open with direct contact and visits. 4 are fully open, direct contact, no visits. And 5 are semi-open. We haven't narrowed down what that means, but probably contact through the agency's portal. So that's good information to know. We also have been starting to look at exposure And our stats aren't great yet because we haven't gotten great at getting all the information from everybody. We'll start to see this more, but there's not even enough to talk about yet, but that's something that we're starting to look at. And that's really it. Have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Adoption Roadmap podcast. If you did, I have a few favors to ask of you. First, please hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, I'd love to hear your takeaways. Please write a review and let me know what you liked. And if you have a question or a suggestion on what you'd like to hear, I'd love to hear that too. Please shoot me an email at support@rgadoptionconsulting.com and let me know what you'd like to hear about. And if you have a question, I may just answer it online. Thanks again for listening. Tune in every Wednesday and Friday morning for a brand new episode of the Adoption Roadmap podcast. Until next time, bye-bye.